We've all heard about nirvana and enlightenment, but what is it exactly? What's it like? Is it a place like a paradise or a heaven, or some form of ecstasy? Literally, the Sanskrit word nirvana means blowing out or extinguishing, as with a flame. Here we're extinguishing the fires of the wild emotions that burn inside us. And the Buddhist scriptures say that nirvana is the extinction of desire, it's the extinction of aggression, and the extinction of ignorance. Ignorance is the delusion about how things are, not knowing how things really are. So why would we want to extinguish these? This is actually a really good question, because we might well think, for example, that desire is rather a good thing. Yeah, it brings joy to life. It's not something we'd want to get rid of, probably. And the Buddhist view, though, is that desire, hatred, and delusion are three mental poisons because when we act upon them, they lead to suffering. And that's why we want to extinguish them, to eliminate the causes of suffering. So then we can find real, lasting happiness. So nirvana is no ordinary happiness. The key thing about the happiness of nirvana is that it's not produced or caused by anything. It doesn't depend on our mood or on circumstances or on anyone else at all. It's a mental state that transcends our everyday experience. It's beyond words, and it can only really be described through analogies. So, for example, it's invisible, like the wind, and yet it's there. It's like cool water that relieves fever. Or it's like a mountain, completely unshakable. So unlike other religions, Buddhism says that the goal of nirvana can be attained in this life, and at the moment of death, we don't have to wait for after death or in the afterlife to experience what nirvana is. So in summary, nirvana is the opposite of samsara, the round of life and death and suffering perpetuated by causes and conditions. Nirvana is the third noble truth, which means it is the goal of the Buddhist path, especially in Theravada Buddhism. And descriptions of nirvana convey a sense of ease and freedom, of joy and of wisdom and love. And that is what Buddhist practitioners try to attain.